Good morning, Scorpio. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. This is going to be your weekly read for October 21st to 21st, something like that, to the 27th, somewhere in that ballpark. So whenever this finds you, that's when you know, right? So this is going to be for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus cross watcher. If that is you, welcome to the channel as well. Guys, always discern the messages. I want to just real quick updates. Personal readings are open and available. That information is found in the description box below. I've been working on the Calendly stuff, still having issues because my schedule changes day in, day out. So I'm trying to find a better way to schedule you guys for those personal readings. So again, be patient. One way or another, it's all going to pan out, right? It always does. Further to that, I was going to say something important. Oh, channel memberships. That's the thing. So channel memberships, as most of you know, are open and available to you. I have finally got a schedule to paper, right? Every Wednesday, that spiritual series is going to start to come out to you on the regular. So keep an eye open on Wednesday for that video. I'm super excited. I've got a whole little game plan via spirit to get those videos out to you. And what we're going to be talking about in those subjects this week is going to be emotional intelligence. So I'm excited to be able to share that information with you all. And it is an incorporation of both what we know to be, the research, as well as the intuitive stuff, as always, right? That's how I roll. So just be aware, if you're not a channel member, you can find that information, I think, in the community tab of my page, and you can get into that. For others of you, and two lives. I am going to try to start doing more lives as well. So I'm working out some quirks that I've had, but we're making progress. So let's hope that it stays that way, right? No distractions, no detours, as spirit seems to bring into me a little more often than I would like. All right, Scorpio, let's get down to it. Let's see what's going on this week for you. Spirit is saying happiness in abundance is abound. I like that. I like the way that feels. Scorpio, it feels emotional to me right off the bat. They're showing me the word tender. There's a time to be tender, Scorpio, and whether this is with yourself or with others or a mix of the both, there's a time to be tender, and I feel like you're Spirit, they got jokes this morning. Put some meat tenderizer on that. Like, Scorpio, whatever part of you, I guess, is hardened. Like, meat tenderizer is great for bee stings, in case you didn't know. I'm going to throw that out there. I know the bees have been a little crazy this year because of the weather. Meat tenderizer, baking soda, and water will take that sting away pretty quickly. So, side note there. It's like tendering to the hardened parts of yourself. Feeling better about yourself. It's almost like watching an egg shell crack is how I would explain this to you. That it's inside of that egg, that shell is that protectant for you. And inside there's a lot of mushiness, right, Scorpio? We feel mushy inside. But Spirit's giving me precise awareness of the yolk of an egg. I don't know why we're talking eggs, but we're talking eggs. You think about that yolk. It's bright, it's yellow, it's sunshiny, it's abundant, happiness, right? It's like little, I don't know if you all ever watched, this is so funny, the Golden Girls, right? Like, I grew up in that era. Like, my grandmother watched it all the time. I've seen every episode probably 100 times over. And there's one part in the one episode where they were, like, Blanche was trying to write, and Rose had stuck a bunch of yolks in a bag for what, I forget why. And I remember her picking up the bag off the table and going, oh my God, there's little balls of sunshine in this bag. Like, Scorpio, you got balls of sunshine in a bag here. What are you going to do with it? Like, I don't even know. The way Spirit brings things in, I don't have an answer for you, but I don't know. But that yolk, though, it's movable, Scorpio. And I think part of that, too, is to be flexible. But they're also showing me the flip to that being that yolk, like when you think about it, when you crack an egg into a skillet, that yolk kind of bounces around. Are you bouncing around in your emotions and the fluidity? It's like, yes, I feel this way. No, I don't. Do I? It's like they're showing this to me as a way for you to pay attention to how much bouncing around you're doing, whether it's in the heart space, but it's like, when you drop the egg, it kind of does its little thing until it settles. Like, Scorpio, this is starting to settle down for you somehow. So it's like you're finally finding Spirit's calling it a focal point of your emotions this week to kind of just embrace and just kind of be still in it. So it's also, Spirit is saying about being present and aware of that stillness, like knowing that it's okay to be still. You know, you could also have a lot of love right off the bat, Scorpio. There's that heart, that emotion, right? You could have a lot of like, you could feel like you're multitasking a lot this week, right? A lot of this, a lot of that, a lot of coming, a lot of going, a lot of seeing, a lot of knowing, a lot of communication coming in. For some of you this week, you could be feeling like you're trying to reach somebody. There could be some like phone tag or emails or going back and forth. It will take maybe like 3 days, Spirit is saying, to like work out the details to whatever it is you're trying to like get done or clean up. It's just going to take a little bit of time. But yeah, it was like a side message. But hope, Scorpio, summons after a period of being, Spirit is saying, isolated and trapped by, I think, a thought process, the way this comes through. Like, it's like I can now release myself from Spirit saying, from this talk. From this talk. Hold on. Is this a talk you're having with somebody, or is this talking to the self? What is the Spirit in regards to this talk? The devil. Scorpio. A period of healing here with this Four of Swords, the devil. I feel like this is you rectifying anything that you felt has been wrong, or maybe not in moral code with yourself. Justice. It's like, I'm going to, whatever has been plaguing you, whatever has been ailing you mentally this week, or I feel like these thoughts have been ongoing maybe the past 2 to 3 weeks, the most heavy. This is where you are breaking free from that devil energy. This is where, so this talk or whatnot, you could be bringing up, it's almost like looking at it, you think about the devil card, toxicity, codependency, all of those things, the Four of Swords being rest, recovery, recuperation from a situation. So they are complete equal and opposing opposites in that way. So this could be you talking to somebody about the negative side of things versus the positive side of things, and where it is that you want to, as I say that, there's the Three of Cups, the Fool, the Moon. Whatever emotions too that have been hidden beneath the surface, Scorpio, could really be coming up this week and going, you know what, I need to talk about this. It's almost like the need to say your piece, Scorpio, and going, this is what has kept my heart subdued through a particular situation. So it's like, I feel like you've already had some realizations around things, and do know, Spirit is saying, do know that as you have this conversation, whether it's with your guides, it's with someone else, it's with yourself or whatnot, there's going to be more that comes to the surface. Like, it's like with that Moon card sitting there, you're going to start to see things, and you know, subconsciously as well, dreams could be very very heightened at this time. Visions, the way that you're communicating with Spirit, getting downloads, your intuitive nudges, whatever you want to call them, are coming in to kind of guide you and push you towards this deeper understanding of you needing, Scorpio, I got the chills, holy shit. The Devil, the Queen of Wands, the Death card. Scorpio, I feel like the devil in this communication is, someone could say things to you that are very toxic. It could be gaslighting. It could be manipulating. But the Mother of Wands here is also associated with the Death card, as it's under the deck. The need to protect yourself. And you may feel hardened by what someone else has to say. And I just realized this too. This Queen of Wands, she's got eggs. This is new life. This is birth. This is creation. Spirit is also advising me to go to there's a cosmic egg in this animal spirit book, and I am going to read that to you. Cosmic egg, where's it at? There's the golden egg. I don't know why the cosmic egg, but I'm going to read this. Where's it at? Here it is. Looks, you know, I heard it's cosmic egg, and I knew that it was in this book. There is an egg with the snake around it, and Scorpio, there you are. That's that snake energy, right? I find this very, like, I don't know, eggs, Scorpio, eggs. Completion, harmony, the infinite within the finite. And this is the Kim Cran's Animal Spirit deck as well, the book. The cosmic egg is the final card in the journey of the animal spirit deck, and it represents the unfolding of cosmic consciousness. This state emerges after we have tread the path for quite some time, and through self-effort and grace we experience self-realization. I just said it, epiphanies, right? A sense of contentment and oneness spontaneously arises within us, and the veils of our self-limiting beliefs are lifted. When the essence of this cosmic egg has not been activated, we may feel as if we will never get there, or that we travel alone, disconnected from others. Even if our encounter with this card is brief, appearing as a momentary glimmer or a flash of interconnectedness, its potent energy stays with us. The cosmic egg is a remedy for the fragmentation of modern life. Spirit said this is the glimmer, as I was reading this is the glimmer of awareness of what life looks like on the other side of this situation. Whatever this situation is for you in regards to the heart space, Scorpio, it's like you're getting a taste, and this is the second time today that I've used this term, a taste of freedom. You're starting to see the possibilities that kind of float around you as you're that yolk and all that white egg stuff, whatever they call that, I can't even think, is floating around you, and you're floating in it, okay? The cosmic egg is a remedy for the fragmentations of modern life. It's through the power of this card that we are reminded of the cosmic contract written at the beginning. We hold on to life, and life holds on to us. The journey is complete, but it does not end. For those of you who are leaving any situation, family dynamic, relationships, jobs, this is not, it's Semisonics closing time. How do they say that in that, every end, like, what is it? I can't even think of the words now. I just heard it and it went, you can go, or we're closed here, but you can go wherever, or however they say it. I can't even remember for whatever reason. But just because this door is closed does not mean that new life doesn't begin on the other side of that. It's closing out the past, Scorpio. It's reconciling yourself to a job that maybe you have put years into, relationships that you've put years into, family situations you've put years into, and realizing that, and it doesn't, and I'm going to say, like, it doesn't have to be bad. Like, and I've used this example before, that, oftentimes in our society, when people split up or get a divorce, there's going to be a good guy and a bad guy, right? You got to blame somebody for why things happened. And that's the ego. The ego goes, I have to hate you, you have to hate me. It needs to be a knockdown, drag out, 13:03 on the clock. Knockdown, drag out war. Why can't you go your way and I go mine, and we just agree that this isn't healthy. This isn't good for you. This isn't good for me. We're not making any traction. We're not making progress. It doesn't mean that anybody is wrong. It just means that it didn't work. The ego kicks in and says it's someone else's fault because we don't want to have to take a look at our shadow side. Is that you, Scorpio, feeling this way, or is it something or someone else that you're dealing with, right? It's like leaving a job and they're pissed because they've needed you, right? You've done the thing for so long and they're begrudging and they won't write you a reference, right? It's something to that effect. Like, it's like they're holding on to a grudge. And Scorpio, just make sure that you're not the one holding on to the grudge in this situation. The cosmic egg in the 7th chakra, which is spirit, path of enlightenment, right? There's the full enlightenment. It says the subtle essence of the cosmic egg resides at the crown chakra at the top of the head, called Sahasrara. And I think I said that right. I don't know. I always mix those up. One of the aims of yoga and meditation practice is to channel energy from the base of the spine upward toward Sahasrara. Each of the lower 6 chakras plays an important role along this journey, and once the final epicenter of the consciousness is activated, it is said to radiate the light of 1,000,000 suns. Like, I've got the chills myself, as I just said, about the Golden Girls of all things. There was a bunch of sunshine she thought there was a bunch of sunshines in a bag. The light of 1,000,000 suns, Scorpio. If that is not, like I've got just insane chills as I say this. Like, it won't even stop. Like, usually I'll feel it, it goes away. Like, my legs are tingling. incessantly. Like, it's crazy. Scorpio, for those of you who have really worked on that sacral chakra, for those of you that are really pulling up that energy, this is like stepping into Kundalini energy as well. This is probably one of the biggest deals of your life. And it doesn't come in the form of dramatics. And I know I've mentioned that quite a bit. Like, Scorpio, it's not as dramatic. It doesn't have to be this way. It's subtle. Scorpio, this is an internal, subtle shift that it's like, you know, your friends, family, whatever, like, they see you in this certain light. They've identified you as this person, this thing, right? And this is the way that Scorpio is. When the sun starts to evolve from within Scorpio, that energy is rising. It is like Spirit just said, the light of the thousand suns will heal everything within you that you didn't even know they're calling it belonged there. But I feel like all of the things that have been within that you maybe didn't even realize existed. This is deep interpersonal healing and epiphanies, realizations, ahas that you didn't know existed. Dandelion, when it turns into the puffy flower, right? That they're showing me that here as well. 4-leaf clovers could be very important for you. Some of you could have Irish or Celtic background as well. So confirmation of the same. Scorpio, you get to paint your egg, like, you know, Easter eggs. Like, you get to paint your eggs, and it looks tie-dyed to me. It's got pinks and purples. Spirit is like singing hues of blue. Talking about that communication, I said there's like a conversation that's taking place here. Hues of blue is being able to express what needs to be said. Spirit, my God, Scorpio, what are you all going through? Express what it is that you have held back on for so long. This is a new dawn of a new day, and there's a song, it's like this new dawn, a new day. I don't know who sings that. I can just hear that particular phrase, a new dawn, a new day. I think it's a guy that sings that. Is it Michael Bublé, maybe? But it's big, Scorpio. This devil that you're dealing with this week, what is this? Ace of Cups. This is a manipulation. Somebody is holding on out of codependency. Scorpio, I also feel like in this, and then this Four of Swords shows itself on the bottom. Maybe fighting with yourself through a period of needing to recover. And that Five of Wands to me also speaks of the internal fight that we have. I think that you're dealing with a situation or person or people who are in this internal fight. And it could feel like, I've said before, like good versus evil, like fighting with our shadow side. There's the light side that says, I know this is where I need to go and what I need to do. And then there's the other side that is just like, but it's so much easier. It's so much more comfortable to stay in this way of being. I feel like there's this, again, duality that's showing up, Scorps, that there is one side of some of you who are really moving into that white light, that sunlight. Someone else is hurt. They may weaponize their hurt towards you. Hurt people, right? But you're also able to diffuse whatever this is, because you're not operating in that egoic space. You're not operating in the blame game. You could be saying, I realize my part of this. Like, maybe I could have been a better coworker and I let these things get under my skin, but I'm ready for a new slate. If it's a partnership on the romantic level, I realize that these are the things that I did that maybe caused some difficulties. And I'm sorry for that. However, you know, we get to a point sometimes where the damage has been done and there's no going back from that. Too much has happened. Scorpio, whether you know it or not, this person can be very much in their shadow side. But you have inspired them. You have been an inspiration to them. And they look at you with a longing. Like, I feel so emotional because I feel this person's pain. They look at you with such a longing of like, I don't know how to be there. I don't know how to do what you do. I don't know how you do what you do. And I don't know what that looks like in the future. There's part of them that is jealous. There's part of them that admires you. And there's another part of them, Scorpio, Spirit is saying that they don't understand you. And there's that mystery of Scorpio, right? They don't get where you come from, because you see it much deeper. And when you're going through this spiritual enlightenment, for somebody who's not, awake, this becomes a very deep-rooted thing that for those who are not awakened to that, they don't understand it. So in order for them to understand you means they also have to understand at least parts of that, right? Spirit reminding on the 3D level, said it 1,000,000 times, I'll probably say it 1,000,000 more. People can only meet you where they have been and met themselves as well. They're not willing, Spirit saying, to go to the distance, Scorpio, in which you do, right? Here's where your obsession turns into a positive trait for you, right? It's like, I'm so obsessed with getting better that I'm gonna just bounce off the walls to get it done. And you're willing to dig deep to do that. This person doesn't understand that. And Scorpio Spirit is also saying, please be cautious, because you don't want to lean too much into that you're pinching yourself off either, out of a defense mechanism or a trauma response. But this situation does have love, but it's an unhealthy love. They've not been taught, or have they expanded on what a healthy friendship looks like, what a healthy partnership looks like, what a healthy coworker, boss, employee dynamic looks like, what a mother-daughter relationship looks like, whatever that is. They just know the toxicity that comes in with manipulating it to make them feel better in the moment. 22:22 on the clock. Scorpio, this Queen of Wands is you. What do you own? There's a ton of things. 10 of Pentacles trying to show itself. What does Scorpio need to know about this Queen of Wands as themselves? Hierophant, you could be, I see that the Hierophant is just very spiritual, Scorpio, plain and simple. It's the high priest, really, it's a divine pairing to the high priestess. Temperance, you could be dealing with a Sag, a Taurus, Capricorn energy sitting here as well. Doesn't have to be. But your viewpoints, Scorpio, some of you could be working toward, Spirit is saying, a North Node purpose. This is the key that opens you up and unlocks you. This is where you're willing to speak about how you've held yourself back. This is where you unlock the potential of your growth, right? Like, you've obtained that information. You've obtained this awareness to this, but now to actually genuinely unlock it with the key. It is the uncaging that happens after this period of time. And, that Hierophant, 3 cards back, and, I typically look at about 5 of them. There's that bird in that cage, right? You see that crow? Look at this. Here's the Hierophant, the crow with the key. Scorpio, your higher self is coming in to, quote, rescue you. The wisdom that you've attained as a high priest is, here it is, Scorpio. Here's where we break the mold. This Sagittarius, Temperance energy, Wheel of Fortune, Scorpio, the Empress, holy shit. You had to pick a pathway of new life. The Empress, 2 of Wands to the Empress, to the Wheel of Fortune. This is turning the wheel. Like, where you have been stuck on this rat wheel, you're turning the wheel and going, I recognize that this space in which I've been in, it's like I'm seeing this wheel turn. You think about like the animals that we see in the pet stores, like the hamsters on the wheel, and it, right? You just hear that consistent sound of that wheel spinning. I'm hearing this from Spirit as a click, which also gives me indication to that key. You have to turn that key either left or right, right? Was it right to unlock, left to lock, I think? Which is funny because it's the opposite of a righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Like, there you go. Anyhow, random thought there. Don't know. But in order for that wheel to turn, there is a click to that wheel turning. So whether this is information, news processing, you actually unlocking yourself from a situation, but it's the turn that happens, and Spirit saying the turn of the century for you. So however that pertains to you, I don't know. Look at the years of your life that you've been here. 5 is change, willing to change your direction. The lightning bolts coming down too in that Hierophant card. Again, the power and the prowess Spirit is saying of yellow. And how does this tie together in this communication? 6 of Cups. This is a soulmate situation. So again, it could be work. Hell, it could be the lady at the grocery store, like I say, right? It could be Rhonda down the road. Who knows? But this is a soulmate energy, and it's you, Spirit, saying you have known each other before. You're fully aware of why you've come together, and whatever this job is, whoever this person is, so on and so forth. It wasn't about what happened on the surface in the 3D world, Scorpio. It wasn't about what it looked like on paper. It wasn't about the affection that we crave, the sexual desires. Like it takes all of those things away, because it's not that in itself is not well grounded. It's still dark at the surface, right? Like you think about when our trees are reborn in spring, the growth happens and they're beautiful and they light up. The fall time, Spirit is giving me an adjustment to the fall time for you. So your lunar cycle, right? Your lunar return. Underneath the surface of this situation at the 3D level, all of this spiritual growth was happening. The roots of abundance were growing. Roots don't grow overnight, Scorpio, right? They take time. And there's life that was being breathed into you during this period and this growth that was happening and occurring. Everything was going on beneath the surface. And for you, I think you've stepped into understanding that soulmate energy, giving recognition that everything at the top of this was dry. It hasn't shown a lot of, Spirit saying, transparency. So whether somebody wasn't being honest or forthright with you, or maybe you were holding back as well, I think it was a double-sided situation in some ways, but both sides for different reasons, okay? But there's fear of this. There's a fear of this connection for someone. And Scorpio, I don't think that it's you. Like you will jump into things and run full circle with it. They could feel like you're putting their feet in the fire to hold them up. So again, this idea of blame being casted towards you, be aware of that. Final outcome. 2 of Pentacles. Scorpio, somebody could come back around, right? As I say that, 6 of Cups is sitting there, and it never even crossed my mind initially. But that 2 of Pentacles is trying to maintain some type of equilibrium through a change and a metamorphosis. And I don't know if this is someone saying to you, Scorpio, like, let me change, after Spirit saying 7 to 8 day period. So you may see them pop up next week or something, going like, look, like, what do we got to do to keep this together? And Spirit saying, some of you, this has already been a conversation, and it may be a repeat conversation as well. Scorpio, you're kind of hunkering down. This Hermit in this particular card, he's in his shell. And I think at some point, you're going to view this as, you got Virgo and Aquarius here also. You may view this as, I feel enlightened. I feel lighter by way of this conversation. I feel like in some ways you could even feel attacked by their words. It's somebody reacting. Spirit is using the word violently. I don't like that. But I feel like their words are the violent thing. Like it's the wrath of the tongue, right? Like learn when to bite your tongue and not say mean, cruel things. And that's where you kind of go into protection mode with this Hermit energy. Because it's as if I've heard enough of those painful words to last me a lifetime. They may trigger you, Scorpio. In this communication, they may trigger you and blame you. And in that guilt to make you feel like you are being selfish, brash, unconsiderate of them. And Scorpio, I will say this. I don't think that's the truth. Scorpios don't tend to make a rash decision. Humans in general, we will, I've said it before, again, say it again a million times. We emotionally check out before we ever physically leave. It's like a cognitive function. And Scorpio, I don't think that you've taken this lightly. When I see that 6 of Cups, some of you could be looking at anywhere from 1 to 6 years of dealing with a particular situation, 2 years specifically, where things had changed. It really shifted into something completely different, where you had to find a sense of strength and independence. So I would say, look at your cycles as where was it that you started to assert yourself, or needed to be independent of something, or do something solely for yourself that seemed to start to trigger this situation. And now it's like culminating into this particular path that says Scorpio is ready to move on from this situation. So, it's funny, you're going through a period, thank you, Spirit, you're going through a period of nesting, but not like in the sense of, having children, or it's that time of the month or whatnot, right? Like, you're not going through the hormonal, there we go, thank you, Spirit, the hormonal cycle of nesting. It is nesting for the long-term longevity of your life. It's not the same. It's a very different feel, okay? And you feel inspired. You feel inspired and hope that no matter what happens, that you're going to be okay on your own. So whether you're leaving a job and starting a business on your own, you're leaving a marriage and you're going to do it on your own, you're going to be a single parent, you are willing to take yourself away from a family dynamic and just stand on your own 2 feet without feeling like they're, like, even though they've been there, they've been unsupportive. So it's like, I'm just going to do this on my own. And if I am like the only one in my family that does this, and they're all on the East Coast and I'm on the West Coast, and I'm totally in this new place, new town, new city by myself, like, I'll make friends. I'll get a job. I'll go to the coffee shop. I'll go to the bookstore. I will do something. Maybe I'll join a bowling league. I can start anew without these people or this person or this job being attached to what the next chapter looks like. Okay? So a lot of around, and it's like, I feel like someone wants you, Spirit is saying, to doubt yourself as well. Doubt how this could possibly turn out for the better for you in some way. They understand, Scorpio, they're trying to make you feel isolated as well. Okay? Like, they're trying to make you feel like you're not going to be able to accomplish and or do something. And Spirit, again, that word subtle comes in, that if you're not dealing with someone who's excessively lippy, where they tend to be, and I'm going to call it a quiet masculine energy, it's like they say a lot without saying anything by their silence in a very hasty way. I hope that makes sense, the way I'm explaining that to you. So they could just, it's like, what is that, passive aggressive, right? Like, I ain't gonna say nothing, but you're gonna see the look on my face, Scorpio, and I'm gonna make you feel intimidated by that. That's the thing, Scorpio. I don't think you all get intimidated. You feel emotionally guilty instead. It's a different feeling, right? All right, let's see. I took this new deck of cards. I love these already. They're beautiful. Scorpio, the split. Lords of the Records, Universal Consciousness, a 1 and a 35, so 1 and 8. The archives of your soul information is open and ready for you to access. You can now align more deeply with your soul purpose. And this could be where you're headed, Scorpio. It's like North Node. Reach for your North Star with that Aquarius star energy. 1, universal consciousness. You have merged into pure alignment with the universe. You are connected with everything. Spirit. And somebody out there is saying they want to be disconnected from all of it. Scorpio. No. From the drama and the bullshit, sure. The toxic side, sure. It's 41. Scorpio, 41. You could be 41. 41 and 13 show up very important numbers. 13 being that of the death card. 41 at light codes. Scorps, the world is in your hands. There's more lightning bolts to this. You're sending off. I'm going to say collectively, you are all sending off like this electrically charged magnetic force that is having a big ripple effect as well right now. Okay, so be aware of that. Something about the, I know that there's hand symbols for all the chakra centers. Some of you could work with that energy or in Reiki as well. I'm not quite sure. I don't know the signs. I used to. I can't remember them anymore. But the stars are aligning, Scorpio. And as I say here, as I go to read the card for the first time, energetic frequencies are flowing to your system and activating what it must at this time, if I could talk. Energetic frequencies are flowing to your system and activating what it must at this time. Scorpio, Spirit's also pointing out to me, there's a couple of times now that I've kind of repeated, like when I was reading, I've repeated something. Some of you could feel like you have to repeat what you've already said to this person. Like, is this shit sinking into you? Because I've got to say it, and it's like, you may be looking for someone to actually address what you've said. It's like when you say something to somebody expecting a response, and there's that silence, that domineering silence of, I'm going to make Scorpio really uncomfortable and say nothing at all. You not receiving a response, being the overthinker that you can be, I think that gets at you more than anything else, because it's like they have nothing to say. So what does this even mean? Scorpio, Spirit is saying that means they're emotionally unavailable to you. They don't, I say that they don't care. I don't care as a front for the pain that they are feeling at this time. So it's easier to just not say anything for some of them than it is to say anything at all. And they don't want to give you it's like they're trying to withhold some sort of satisfaction. It's like they want you to put your head down and feel guilty for where they are. And that's not your problem, okay? This eternal stone, what you grieve is not lost. Everything has and will be returned to you in another form. Scorpio, I'm seeing these like almost like as a memorial flower, in the sense that, what is that, the Ankh as well. Through this partnership, this work, this family dynamic, whatever this is, Scorpio, I think that for most situations, not all, something started off with the purest of intentions. And now we can get into things with the purest of intentions and they turn toxic as fuck, right? Like, we know this. But the beauty, Scorpio, it's like you took what you've learned, you've taken what you know, and you've alchemized that energy of this rebirth, turning from that 2 white roses into that 1 pink one. Voluptuous, beautiful, a complete rebirth. And is it in Harry Potter? That's not odd. Yeah, like, isn't there like a beetle, a metal beetle or something? The Beatles could be in the Beatles. Maybe it's the music. I don't know. As I say that, but the beetle itself could be of significance to you as well. Or even look up the purpose of the beetle thing that I think was part of Harry Potter. I'm not sure. But this is also Spirit saying artifacts of what you once believed in. So this is a death of a tradition, a death of a belief system as well, which is being replaced with a higher activation within you that opens you up to a new way. Some of you could be working with Grabavoy numbers. Some of you could be working with numbers in general, light codes, things like that. This is moving beyond this 3D into a deeper expansion on the 5D processes. Spirit is telling me to read this card, and I'm going to go with it. And it's a chessboard right there, right? And the irony, oh my God. Was there not in one of the Harry Potter movies, of all the things, because I'm not a movie watcher, we know this. I know I've watched parts of those before. Was there not a chessboard or something at one point that Harry was fighting or battling with somebody, like they were on it, or maybe I'm thinking of another movie, I don't know. But the fact that this chessboard is up in the air, like the gameplay is up, it's ready to fall off that tipping peak there. It's like the game is over. Things are falling away. The board is tipping. I mean, you look at the weight on that side of the board versus what's going on over here. The scales are tipping, Scorpio, and they're tipping in your favor, Spirit is saying. 37 breaks down to a 10, 1 and a 0, right? Or 0 and a 1. Past, present, and future possibility. Acknowledge where you have been and where you are going. The possibilities are endless and yours to create. You are finding your equilibrium, Scorpio. This week, there could be this totally went a different direction than I anticipated laying cards down. Know that your communication, Spirit is saying, with whatever the situation is, could go a completely different way than you've imagined. You could be up in your head going, I'm going to say this, and they're going to say that, and this is how this is going to go, and then I'm going to get my things, and I'm going to close up my office, and I'm just going to leave my parents home and give them a hug and wish them well. Like, Scorpio, this is not going to go the way that you think that it is. In part, Spirit saying, because they want you to feel the pain that they feel. Even if this is a job. So this could just be someone like a coworker who's wanted out of there for 26 years. And here you are after 4 going, I'm out the door. See ya. New opportunity. But this is all changing this week, Scorpio, for you. So this communication, I think, is coming in. Be aware of that. I'm going to throw, let's see, just quick cards. I don't know why I want to do this, but I'm going to do this. So 1 card for each day, very, very quickly. Today, feeling a good vibe, feeling in the moment on Monday, right? Just being present, being aware, accomplishing things, being a part of a community group, perhaps in certain ways. Canada. I don't know why Canada is, the flag is there. I have no idea why. So maybe there's some tie to that. I don't know. Spirit saying Canadian descent. There's reds and whites in that. Tuesday, not enough. You know, stay focused, Scorpio, on whatever's coming in for you this week. Don't let your ego and fear take you into an isolation that could make you feel like your confidence is lacking. Don't let other people get to you as well. You could feel like sometimes it's a war zone, bloodshed, right? For Wednesday for Scorpio. Soulmates. Scorpio, Wednesday, you're going to be connecting with somebody that you have some sort of soul contract with. I do think that this is new, but I also think this is closing out the past as well. It's like realizing that you have a lot of options. Other people could see you as having a lot of options. Other people could have options too, right? But it's like you're reviewing these soul contracts and asking what's going to serve you the best. Thursday needs time, takes time. There could be a pause to something going on. It's like I feel like you're getting ready to jump into that full energy by Friday with this clock being here. It's like I need another day to make time for something. So there's something about taking time maybe for this conversation or whatever this is, you know. And I would think too, Fridays, like, you know, people are gonna walk out of a job on a Friday, right? Friday we have more time maybe because we don't work the weekends, whatever the scenario is. But this is going to lead to that transition phase for you, Scorps. So for Friday for Scorpio, codependency. I feel like the Saturday or Friday, Scorpio, you're seeing some type of the one-sidedness to this situation, the blocks that actually exist within a particular situation, whether it's in the passion in your work, it's the passion in a relationship. Scorpio, by Saturday, I almost feel like you're being triggered to kind of bring up the past on Saturday. Stay out of that energy as much as you possibly can. Be open, because this teddy bear is coming out sideways. Allow yourself to open up without restraint. Like, try to, you know, not put it on the down low. Like, just let yourself open up. Sunday, coffee cup, meeting and talking. So you could be coming around, meeting with friends, meeting with loved ones that are supportive of you. Somebody at that point too, Scorpio, could want to kind of come back through somehow. There's going to be, Spirit is calling it a fee for this revival of whatever this is. Make sure you're not giving up the parts of yourself that you worked so hard to put together. For others of you, You're having epiphanies again about certain things, maybe meeting up with other people that aren't in a negative side of things. But I do feel like there's somebody attached to you that may have pictures of you or something, and they're kind of thumbing through in their own period of isolation, wishing that things were different. So be aware of what's going on this week. Scorpio, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that this was helpful for you. November's reads will be out before long. I'm sending you all a ton of love. Personal reads are open and available. Feel free to reach out to me via the email below. For those of you who have donated to the channel, you all are absolutely amazing. For those of you who've booked personal readings, it's been a pleasure to speak with each and every one of you. Those of you that we have appointments this week, yay, I'm excited to work with you as always. And you all, whatever's going on, drop it in the comments. Let me know. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and guys, I appreciate all of you. I'm sending you the most love. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.